Manchester United have just beaten Nottingham Forest 1-0 in the FA Cup, securing us a tie with Liverpool at home in the quarter-final. What can I say about today's game? I'll be honest, there wasn't really any moments in the game where I felt Nottingham Forest were really a threat. I think it was a relatively contained, confident performance in some ways. I think our attack still looks quite shaky. We had maybe 2 or 3 really, really strong goal scoring opportunities. I know in the first half, Scott McTominay had a header he should have scored. There was a corner, I think maybe in the first 10 or 15 minutes, a really, really well-worked corner. Anthony gets the ball on the edge of the box, hits the crossbar, probably should have scored. It's weird, like, I didn't really feel on edge at all watching today's game. I felt pretty relaxed, although I did constantly feel in the back of my head that Nottingham Forest were going to score out of nowhere, and it was going to be one of those games, where we had all the chances, should have maybe been 2 or 3-0 up in the first 20 minutes, didn't, and then Nottingham Forest capitalised on it. But it didn't go that way. We have won, we have gone through. Now, people will say it's only Nottingham Forest. We lost to Nottingham Forest a couple of months ago in the Premier League. So for me, every win is big. I think this is really, really strong for Erik ten Hag. It wasn't a beautiful game of football, but when you consider the team that we had lining up, we had Sofian Amrabat, who's played, I think, 3 games for us since he signed from Fiorentina, playing at left back, and he's a CDM. You had Lindelof and Varane playing together, who barely ever partner each other. You had McTominay and Casemiro in the midfield. Anthony played, who, I'll be honest, didn't look great as always. Rashford was the striker. Like, the point I'm trying to make here was, half of our team is missing, literally half of our team is missing. You look at the bench that we had today, there was 2 or 3 players on the bench who literally were making their debuts. It was like Christian Eriksen, Omari Forson, Camboala, Johnny Evans, Kobe Mainu. It just shows how weak our squad is at the moment. And for us to get through and to win this game, I'm happy. It's impossible not to be happy. Obviously, Liverpool in the next round is going to be very, very difficult. But you know what? I think at Old Trafford, obviously a couple of players will be back by then. I imagine Rasmus Højlund will be back. I think we could beat them. I genuinely do. When you look at all the injuries that Liverpool have got at the moment, and you think that they're, competing for, obviously, the Premier League, they're competing for the Europa League. They've got so many more games than what we have at the moment. So I think there's a chance. I think there genuinely is a chance. I know Liverpool are in form at the moment. I know they've just won the League Cup, all the rest of it. But I genuinely believe there's a chance we can beat Liverpool and go through to the next round. Maybe I'm being naive. Maybe I'm being stupid. But that's my opinion. Obviously, you guys let me know in the comment section. Do you think Manchester United can beat Liverpool and go through to the next round? I mean, we have to. We do. It's our only chance of winning anything this season. And we really, really need to, push for that and hope that we can do it. Going back to today's game, though, let's go through kind of some of the key moments and look at some of the players' performance. I think Erik ten Hag got the starting 11 completely right. I don't think there was anybody on the pitch who, shouldn't have been on there. I think maybe the only exception was McTominay in the midfield, but, Kobe Mainu is, I think, 18 years of age. He's been playing a ridiculous amounts of games. Obviously, he had an injury at the beginning of the season, and I think, resting him, I think that was the right decision to do, and it paid off in the end. So I've got no complaints about McTominay playing that match. I still don't think he's very good, and I still don't think he's a midfielder, but, we got through it. Anthony, the thing that really, really confuses me with Anthony, right, is defensively, I honestly think he's really good. He works really hard. He tracks back. He puts in tackles. He's not afraid to get stuck in. But going forward, I just honestly think he offers nothing, absolutely nothing. And I actually genuinely think that, this is obviously going to be a bit of a controversial opinion, but I honestly think that Diogo Dalot going forward offers way more than Anthony does going forward. But then Anthony offers way more defensively than Diogo Dalot does. I think Diogo Dalot defensively is quite weak, but attacking-wise, I think he's really solid. So, I don't know, it's a little bit strange, isn't it? And I was watching the game today and I was thinking, imagine if Anthony was playing as like a left back or a right back, and then you push Diogo Dalot further up the pitch. Dalot's got a good shot on him, a good cross. He takes people on, and he does all the things that Anthony doesn't do. Anthony doesn't cross, he doesn't take people on, and he shoots but never scores. And I don't know, I was just watching the game today and I was thinking, what would happen if you swap those two people around? People are probably going to say, what are you on about? But yeah, I don't know. I just had this thought when I was watching the match, and I thought I'd bring it into the show to see what people thought. I thought Onana had a really good game today, actually, to be fair. I thought he made some really good saves. Varane was very, very solid. Casemiro, I think, for most of the game was, fine. I don't think he was amazing. He was okay. Obviously, him scoring that winner, that header. The one thing I don't understand though, right, is how did it take the VAR 5 minutes to work out that it was a goal? I mean, it was the most clear goal I've ever seen. It's so weird and so frustrating, but that's just the world we live in now, isn't it? With with VAR, when at the World Cup they had this technology where a computer, a robot, within 5 seconds told them whether it was offside or not. Why are we not using that in the FA Cup, in the Premier League, etc.? Why are we still trusting a human who's always going to make a mistake, in the middle of a live game to try and decide in the 90th minute whether it was a goal or not? It takes all the joy out of the football. I was celebrating Casemiro's goal, and then you think, oh God, it's going to be offside. And then for the next 5 minutes, you're just sat there, like really, really frustrated. And then it is a goal, and it's kind of, by that point, you're like, oh, it loses that excitement. It's strange. It's a strange old feeling. But yeah, really nice free kick from Bruno Fernandes for that goal. Yeah, I mean, like overall, it wasn't, a performance where I'm going to be screaming from the rooftops, we're back, we're going to, achieve so much with this set of players. I think we were playing a poor Nottingham Forest side who were out of form. If we'd have lost today, it would have been an absolute disaster. So I'm not going to get too excited about it, but still, you can only beat what's in front of you. Nottingham Forest aren't a bad side. They've got some decent players, so for us to beat them, I'm happy. I'm happy. You can't not be happy. Your team's just won a football match. So, guys, we've got to be happy. We've got to try and, celebrate the moments when we can. But yeah, so next round, obviously against Liverpool, I think that's in a couple of weeks' time. I am confident that we can beat them, especially with their injuries. Will it happen or not? I don't know. And this could be our opportunity to stop Liverpool's potential treble or quadruple or whatever it is that they're trying to win this season. Obviously, the Europa League kind of makes it a little bit of a false treble, doesn't it? Because the treble's a Champions League. But, that's what the Liverpool fans will be saying. And we're going for the treble. We're going for the quadruple. And we could effectively stop that by beating them at Old Trafford in a couple of weeks' time. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of the performance today. Can we beat Liverpool in 2 weeks' time? Let me know in the comment section below. Yeah, I always like to see what other United fans say, so get involved. Please don't forget to like the video before you leave. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. This has been Daily Red Devil, and I'll speak to you all a bit later.